everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm glad that you all stopped in to go over my video today. This is actually going to be our first cash stuffing of January. It should have happened last week, but we had our first minor emergency of the year. We woke up on January 4th to find that our water was frozen. So we had to spend, and it actually took 3 days to get it back. So we had to spend the next couple of days trying to figure out where the pipes were frozen, trying to thaw it all out. We had no water anywhere. So we had to go buy water for drinking and for coffee, whatever, to flush the toilet with. And it was quite an ordeal. It cost us quite a little bit of money that would have gone into our emergency fund, or that we had planned to put in our emergency fund. But it got used for our first little emergency. In total, it probably cost us about $550. That includes eating out a couple of times, because you can't cook with no water. We couldn't wash dishes. Basically, we were eating sandwiches throughout the day, and we did go out twice for 2 evening meals, just because we were tired of eating sandwiches, basically. And that's not something we normally do, but we decided under the circumstances we were going to do it. So all said and done, it cost us 3 days, 2 days off work, and about $550 that we had to take out of our emergency money to get through this first emergency of the year. Hopefully it's going to be a little while before we have another one, because we need to rebuild the emergency money that we took out. We need to get that back in. And I wanted to do this. This should have been done on the 8th, because this is our budget for the 8th. We didn't do a whole lot. We didn't do our grocery shopping or anything like that yet, because we spent so much time working on getting the water back. So we're going to do it today. And I have 500 that is going to go into our household expenses. Now we take 200 for groceries, and this is for a bi-weekly amount for 2 people. So we have 200 going in here for groceries. So let's get that one in. We need 100 for gas. And with all the extra running around we did in the last week or so, we actually used a little more for gas, which came out of my miscellaneous envelope. Pet food is 100 as well. And we're going to see, I'm going to try something else to see if we can get this pet food cost down a little bit. I'll explain that in a later video, or maybe at the end of this video. No spending. January is a no spend month for us. We don't need to spend anything this month. We don't really need anything at all this month. If something comes up that we do have to have, we'll take that out of miscellaneous. This is what's left over in our miscellaneous from last stuffing. So we have 55, which I'm going to put to the side for now. And we're going to put our 100 back in miscellaneous, because our miscellaneous envelope is a catch-all. Any extra expenses we have for groceries, gas, or whatever comes out of miscellaneous. If we've forgotten to put something in the budget, we'll take that out of miscellaneous. And any extra that's left over there will be taken out and put towards something else in the budget. It'll either go into savings, it'll go into the emergency fund. But I did add another envelope. So this envelope is going to be for my side hustle. Basically, I have a side hustle that I do to make extra money throughout the year. And that requires me to buy a few things every now and then. So I'm going to start putting a little bit of whatever extra we have out of the miscellaneous into that envelope. And this, again, I will explain in a future video, or maybe at the end of this video as well. And I'll give you an idea of what it is that I do for a side hustle, what I actually earn from that. Just to give you a better idea what the income coming in based on what I have to put away to buy the materials. So I think for now we're going to put 25 in there. So we'll take 25 left over from the miscellaneous envelope, and we'll put into my craft supply envelope. So that's it for this envelope. I think we got everything done. Okay, so we'll move on to the next book. And we still have 30 that was left over out of miscellaneous that we're going to add to the funds that we have in here for the sinking funds. So what do we got? So in sinking funds today we are working with 100, 50, 70, 90, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290, 300. So first off, back in the emergency envelope, actually we didn't take any out of this emergency envelope because I had 600 left in the bank that I was going to withdraw and put into my 100 envelope savings emergency booklet for our long-term emergency fund. So what happened was, with the water problem that we had, instead of taking money out of this envelope and using it for that, we just took the money out of the bank, used that, and it just didn't get put in here. So we're kind of a little bit behind on what we would be putting in there, but at least we had it, it got used for something. So at the moment we still have 1,100 in our emergency fund. Whoops, I need this. So we're going to add the 100 to the emergency fund because that is our number one priority. Out of everything in the sinking funds, our emergency fund is our number one priority. So that is always going to get the most money until we reach our $2,000 goal for this year. So January 12th, I think it is today, we add 100, which gives us 12. And once we hit the 2,000 for this year, we'll move on to the next priority envelope, which is savings. So savings is going to get a 50 this time. So we'll add 50. So we are at 150. What have we got next? Vacation. I'd like to be putting everything in the vacation, but I think we're going to take 40. We'll take 40 and put it in the vacation fund. And we can adjust this at any time depending on what we have. On weeks when there's extra, we'll put extra in the envelopes. For now, it gets 40. So we're at 140. And Christmas. This envelope is not just for Christmas. This is actually, it should say gifts on here, because it is for Christmas and birthdays. Those are basically the only gifts that I do throughout the year. And all of the birthdays are in the first half of actually first third of the year. We have 2 in February, 1 in March, and 1 in May. So for now, we're basically working on money for birthdays. Once the birthdays are done, then it will all be going towards Christmas. So because we have 4 of them all coming up in the next 4 months, we're going to be putting a fair amount of money in here. So I'm adding 40 to that as well. So we're at 140. Vets. So we're going to take 20 for the vets. And I'm going to see if I can increase this. I have a plan in mind to help increase the money that I can put into the vet expenses. And it's actually going to come out of my pet food budget. And I'll explain that shortly. But for right now, we've got 140 in there. So we added 40, or sorry, we added 20. Let's just double check. Yeah, we added 20. So we've got 120. I'll mark that out. 20. And next we have car repair is also going to get 20. Actually, you know what? We'll put 10 in the car repair for right now. We started off with 100, so we're not doing too badly in there. So we're going to add 10. And I've added a couple of extra envelopes at the back here, just in case going through the year we may find something else that we want to put in a sinking fund for. So I thought I would have the envelopes sitting there ready. When I figure it out, I'll figure out what we're going to put in there. But I think that is it for our sinking funds for this week. Now we are going to be putting 40 in to our vacation savings, well, our vacation spending money savings. We're going to take 40 for that. It's no good to have a vacation if you don't have any spending money. Okay, so we've added 40 there. So we'll mark off 2 more of these. 3 and 4. And that's that booklet. And this is my 100 envelope savings. That is going to be our long-term emergency. Now, I had an extra 600 that I was planning to bring and put into this booklet this week. But as you already heard, that money was used for an emergency. So we don't have anything to add to this book today. But I have decided that we are going to use our coin savings to fund that booklet as well. And I will show you. These are some of my coin bottles. I actually have 3 of them. And at the moment, I have about 200, sorry about that. At the moment, I have about $280 in this coin savings jars. I separate them so that when it comes time to roll them, it's a lot easier. You don't have to count out everything individually and separate it. So what we're going to do with this is once we hit $400, which we're about 117 away, we're going to take this money to the bank and get $100 bills. So anything that we can accumulate in here, this is basically what I had left from last year. I haven't started again for January yet, but I will as soon as we get this done. And the 400 will go into the 4 envelopes that will fill a page in my emergency 100 envelope savings challenge, the long-term one. So that's the plan for that. Now, what I was going to tell you about the trying to cut some expenses from my pet food bill. We spend about $17, actually it's $17 and change, plus tax, a week on dog treats. We have 4 dogs. So I have decided that that's $80 a month that I really don't need to spend. I'm home, I have the time, and I'm going to try making dog treats myself. I've made 3 different recipes. We found one that the dogs really like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and for, I think it was like $8 is what we spent for the supplies. So I'm guessing that I can take $8 worth of supplies and make enough dog treats to last my 4 dogs for the full month, maybe longer. And it will replace the $80 that we're spending on dog treats now. So that will reduce my pet food budget by $20 a week. And that will give me an extra 20 that I can put into my vet expense envelope. So that is what we're going to be working on for the next little bit. We're going to give that a try and see how it goes. I don't really think I have a whole lot extra to say about any of that yet. I'm going to come back and do another video where I will explain a lot more. Thanks for watching. I enjoy having everyone here, and if you are interested in the content that I'm providing, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks.